If you could come up to the podium. Good morning. You could state your name and speak into the microphone so that we all reporters can hear you.
Okay, I'm pretty nervous. Before I begin my testimony, I would like to acknowledge and give glory and honor unto Yahweh Elohim Yeshua, who is in control of this court proceedings today.
I'm sorry, could you tell us your name?
Yes, I am getting to that. My name is Rosy Thomas, and I'm here as testimony to support Anthony Williams. Thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me to give this testimony today. I respect you and I give you my thanks. To Anthony, thank you for trusting me. I respect you. I love you as my brother in Yeshua. Mr. Isaacson, thank you, and I respect you for what you're doing for Anthony. To the prosecutors, Mr. Sorensen, Mr. Yates, FBI investigator, Ms. Crawley, thank you, and I respect you as well.
And we never open again.
And to all who are here today in the courtroom, and for all those who are listening in outside of this courtroom, aloha to all of you, and I give you all my love and respect to each one of you. Before I begin my testimony, I felt it is necessary to state my credentials, not to brag, but rather it is my humble intention to affirm to this court that my intent is for all of you to quote-unquote to connect the dots and to validate my testimony as chronologically as I could to ensure and assure this court that my testimonies are factual and are the truth, as I am monitored by Yahweh Elohim Yeshua, as it is Him always that I answer to. 1981 to 2012, I worked full-time as a registered nurse in 3 major hospitals here in Oahu. My passion of my nursing career was working in the intensive care unit. 2006 to 2012, while working full-time as an RN, I slowly started my CMA, case management agency, as an entrepreneur, as my second job. My CMA's function was to manage the foster care home operators in Oahu and also to manage the care of elderly who are our local kapunas who required placement in a foster care home as they required assistance in their basic care needs, done by the certified nurses aides who had gone through basic requirements of going through nursing classes, and then they were licensed by the state of Hawaii. 2013 to 2014, I was a certified legal nurse consultant. As a legal nurse consultant, I assisted lawyers in any of their cases discoveries. Because of my RN background, my expertise was best utilized in medical or health care related lawsuits to decipher and to interpret the medical semantics in a way that lawyers could understand the health issues of their clients so they could knowledgeably defend their clients. I could also be hired as an RN medical expert in court trials. 2015 to 2018, I was a licensed insurance agent with PFA, Premier Financial Alliance. In May 1970, my family immigrated to Hawaii. I was fifth grade at the time. There are about 184 dialects in the Philippines. I am quadlingual. Besides English, I could speak 3 different Filipino dialects, Tagalog, Ilocano, and Pangasinan, which are the 3 main dialects spoken by the majority of Filipinos both in and outside the country. Philippines is one of the few countries where Filipino children are automatically bilingual from the time they start school in kindergarten until college. Filipino school curriculum primarily taught in English, both reading and writing, due to the American influence that began in the early 1900s when William Howard Taft was commissioned by the U.S. government to establish an American civil government in the Philippines in 1902. In January 2013, I was faced with foreclosure issues. Both my home and my parents' apartment, which I was also paying their monthly mortgage, went into foreclosure. As I was one of the dozen CMA case management in the islands, I would know who the caregivers are anywhere in the islands, whether in person or I am familiar with their names. Mary Jean Castillo, Annabel Cabebe, and Mila Castro, I pretty much knew them personally as members of the foster care home arena, whereas Lauren Tropico, I only knew her by name. She was also a caregiver. It was Mary Jean Castillo, hereinafter MJ, who introduced me to Anthony Williams' company called Mortgage Enterprises Incorporated. Right around the time she was hired as Anthony's employee, approximately May of 2013. I was one of Anthony's original clients dating back since May 2013 to this date. My initial personal experience with Anthony was one that he was honest, sincere, transparent, and he explained the process of helping us, as there were other clients besides me who were also in the same office during my initial meeting with him, requiring his assistance because we are all in foreclosure. He introduced himself to us in that meeting that he is a private attorney general and not a lawyer, and he is capable of assisting us or anyone else needing his services in their foreclosure issues. I was not familiar with this term, PAG, Private Attorney General, so I researched it later on. Since I was already in the foreclosure and court hearings has been initiated by my lenders, Anthony informed me that he did not guarantee that I would win my case, but perhaps he could detain them for as long as he could until I could get back up on my feet again. That was fair, and I accepted his rationale. About a couple of months after enrolling in his program, Anthony was taken into custody at OCCC, Oahu Correctional Community Center, and everyone in his circle of friends and clients were in shock. Ms. Castillo was one of the caregivers under my CMA. This was how we became close friends. MJ remained as Anthony's trusted employee, along with Sam T., who were the last two MEI employees. Since I no longer have a daily job, I was at her tail, so to speak, most of the time. The day after Anthony asked MJ to wire the money to Anthony's mom, Barbara, MJ showed me the receipt. MJ confided in me that she hired her own lawyer in the event that she might also be indicted because of her employment with Anthony's company. Per MJ, her lawyer instructed her to stay away from Anthony completely. MJ also has another trusted friend named Mel H., who was a captain in the National Guard at the time, doing his own pro se motions for his own foreclosures. MJ stated that she felt bad for, quote-unquote, abandoning the sinking ship. She further stated that I have to save my own self since I don't know how long Anthony will be dead. I have bills to pay, unquote. But she remained in MEI to tie some loose ends, quote-unquote, for at least a couple of months before she left MEI completely. While Anthony was at OCCC, MJ informed me that she was visiting Anthony for at least 1 to 2 times a week to bring him papers that he needed and to obtain instructions from Anthony on what he needed to do to continue in keeping Anthony's office afloat and to continue to assist Anthony's clients until he is released. Anthony is an honest, sincere, and highly dignified man. morally and ethically, besides being a highly spiritual person. Before MJ left MEI, she asked her friends, Mel H., Sam T., and myself, if we could assist Anthony and his clients once she's gone. It did not take us a second thought of agreeing to take on this responsibility because as Anthony's friends, we respected, we honored, and we believed in his altruism. Our primary goal was to give Anthony's clients the options of what they could do to avoid imminent foreclosures since we did not know when he was going to be released. Our intent was to inform all the clients that were on the list, those who were willing to listen and those who were willing to work with us by, number one, tell the truth that Anthony was at OCCC, that we don't know when he's going to be released. And two, we could offer them an option to apply for home modifications with their respective lenders in hope to buy time for these clients from being foreclosed on, hoping that Anthony would be released at OCCC within a few months. Mel H. visited Anthony at OCCC at least once a week to obtain instructions from Anthony on what needed to be done to assist his clients and to update Anthony of what we have been doing for his clients. I know this as a fact because I was with Mel H. on every visit he had with Anthony. Only one visitor was allowed at OCCC. I stayed in Mel's van no matter how long it took Mel to wait to get in to see Anthony. I usually waited in the hot parking lot at OCCC with the van's AC on. Mel H., Sam, and myself took on this job purely as, quote, volunteers with no expectations of getting paid whatsoever. We believed in Anthony's altruism, so as his friends, we supported him. The three of us were not working anywhere at the time, so we had the time we needed to do what we needed to do to assist him. We met and worked at Mel's house as needed. Before MJ left MEI, she taught the three of us how to fill out the QWRs. Her rationale was that we could process these forms for Anthony, and once he is out of OCCC, he then could respond to the QWRs. It was MJ who added Mel H. and my name on the letterhead of Anthony's company just before she left MEI. MJ gave us a box full of papers from Anthony's office when she left. In this box, it contained some of the clients' application forms, the list of clients' names, phone numbers, and their addresses, and a few MAI checks, rubber stamped in the back of the check that it was already deposited. Sam and Mel were not received well by the clients when they first started calling them on phone. I was then volunteered by these two guys to do the follow-up phone calls instead because, one, I was trilingual. I could speak 3 Filipino dialects. Because I'm a female, perhaps the clients would respond better when a female voice on the phone. So Mel and Sam called the other clients on the list, and those that were willing to meet with them face-to-face, appointments were made. I don't remember exactly the total number of clients that were on the list, but I'm sure it was over 100 clients. We spent more than 2 months of Mel and Sam visiting clients' homes and me calling clients that were on the list. I did the follow-up phone calls on my own time at my house, calling mostly in the evenings and on weekends because this was when the clients were home and available to talk to. As expected, a lot of the clients were very upset. Mel H. and Sam got the brunt of it. When the three of us meet at Mel's house, we shared our experiences doing all this follow-up. Mel and Sam stated that some of the male clients gotten so upset during their face-to-face meetings that some attempted to get physically and verbally abusive towards them. I remember some of the clients slamming the phone on my ears as well once they heard me say, "I'm calling on behalf of MEI." However, those clients who accepted us calmed down once they knew why we were reaching out to them and why I was calling out to them. In fact, most of the clients were thankful and felt relieved that Anthony and his company still have friends reaching out to them to inform them and to update them of what's going on with Anthony. The clients that I spoke to stated that they paid cash money to Henry Malinai, mostly paid in the amount from $10,000 up to $15,000 in cash. The client stated that Henry promised them that he could help them with their foreclosures. The clients that I spoke to stated that they paid cash payments that were collected by Henry Malinai, Edna Franco, Annabelle Cabebe, Rowena Valdez, and Angelina Passion. These clients also stated that they were never given receipts, even if they asked for it, promising them that, quote, "it will be given later," unquote, but it never happened. Most of the clients who give their payments to Henry and his cronies, meaning Edna, Annabelle, Rowena, and Angelina, these clients stated that they gave their life savings money to them with a hope that they would not lose their homes. Unfortunately, because these clients have no receipts to show for, they felt they had no recourse in proving what they paid, and they felt no authority would listen to them if they reported it. As I continued to do my follow-up phone calls, I found out from the Maui clients that it was Henry and Rowena Valdez who used to go to Maui to give seminars in one of the hotel's meeting rooms. I asked one of the Maui clients to send me a copy of the flyer that Henry and Rowena was passing out for their free seminars. I saw with my own eyes a copy of the flyer that Henry and Rowena were passing out to recruit their Maui clients. These Maui clients that I have spoken to on the phone stated that Henry gave the seminar and Rowena collected the fees.
So I thank you. I really appreciate what you have to say. That with regard to Mr. Williams, so if you want to give any testimony perspective.
Yes, I'm getting to that.
We've already gone through the trial, and the jury has come back with their decision. And I recall that you were given an opportunity to testify at trial. Okay. So if there's something that you personally would like to say about Mr. Williams or his sentence, I welcome you to do that now.
Okay. When Anthony was extradited to Honolulu in September 2017, I was truly relieved because the lawyer that I paid retainers fees to assist me with my foreclosure issues was a waste of my money. He did not do what he said he would do to assist me. I was still in foreclosure. It has been 8 years to date, from 2013 to 2020, that Anthony continues to assist me with my parents' foreclosure issues, even while he's incarcerated at FBC. Currently, Anthony is also assisting several other of my friends with the same foreclosure issues. Anthony is a victim of circumstance. He is the big fish that the government caught to keep lids shut as to make an example out of him. Every form of oppression, prejudice, and the violation of his human rights and his civil rights has been and continues to be perpetrated against him inside the BOP and in this courtroom in their hope of breaking him down physically, psychologically, and spiritually. However, Anthony is a realist, a truth seeker to the very core of his being. His love of Yahweh Elohim Yeshua, his dignity, his morality, his perseverance, his altruism, the genuine truth that he's standing firm for, these are what motivates him to show himself of who he truly is. I do not condone the actions of the far left nor the far right, nor any actions done to harm humanity by the violent criminals, the mass murderers, the drug lords, the human traffickers, the pedophiles, or any others that commit horrific and atrocious harm to humanity. I even believe in capital punishment if beyond any reasonable doubt that one's guilty actions have been proven, and if it's this truly what it would take to eradicate such bad people as menace to society, especially if they're far removed from reality, have no remorse, and unrehabilitated individuals. The ring of greed and power that has been enslaving humanity, not only here in the United States, but worldwide, conceived and created millenniums ago by the dark elites of nobility, which continues to this day. The riots that are going on worldwide has upset and incited the general population mightily, globally, to arouse the consciousness of humanity against the asymmetrical economic warfare we are all faced with today, and continues to be astoundingly being perpetrated against humanity worldwide. In conclusion, Your Honor, Anthony's ex-employees, namely Henry, Edna, Annabelle, Rowena, and Angelina, are still at large. Although Henry and Annabelle were indicted with 1 count each, that is just the prosecutor's deceptive, egregious tactics to further add layers to their concocted lies and manipulations to ensure that their conviction of Anthony are merited. Anthony is not a felon, but rather he is victimized by these vindictive FBI investigator and prosecutors whose main intention is to prosecute and to persecute regardless of the truth, to make an example out of him, daring to push the limits, daring to penetrate the ring of power that they are protecting. Your Honor, you hold the balancing scale. You are the fulcrum of this teeter-totter of justice versus injustice. Anthony's future lies in your decision today. He is a man of dignity, and his main intention was to serve others. This was thwarted mainly because he trusted a group of people whom he thought hold the same core values and principles of his caliber. Anthony is a realist. He seeks for the truth, no matter what. And his uncompromising spiritual, moral, and ethical values that he exemplifies are what he lives by and executes to this day in his daily life. Anthony never would have thought that these kind of people have the heart to destroy lives, especially our Kutunas, and think that they could get away with it. Personally, I am truly very ashamed, and I am truly very, very disappointed to be in the same culture as them. Anthony has been in this business for 19 years before coming to Hawaii in an attempt to help the local people. Except for another wrongful accusation in his Florida case, a double jeopardy that he is being tried for, his line of work has been spotless and legal in the eyes of law. American people and humanity worldwide are now, quote-unquote, waking up to the truth, the injustices being perpetrated to those who were wrongfully accused and wrongfully prejudiced against. The division between, quote, us against them, black versus white, the powerful elite versus the innocent poor people, are now all surfacing in every major cities in America. Your Honor, you are given a very important job. Whether you believe in higher divinity or not, or you have your own religious beliefs, your unique woman qualities, of having the special intuition of what is in your heart that resonates with the truth presented to you throughout this case. May it penetrate your heart and burn the iniquities and plant the truth of life instead. Perhaps today is just another working day for you, because this has been a job you have been doing since you were appointed by President Obama several years ago. Your Honor, you are a wife, a mother, a grandmother perhaps, a sister, an auntie. I'm sure that your passion when you were a little girl was service to others. And I assume that the reason why you closed this prominent, commendable job, a very respected position, is to serve justly. Your Honor, I'm asking you humbly, sincerely, in my heart of hearts, especially on behalf of Anthony's children, his family, and his friends, who could not be here in person today. We are asking for your mercy and grace to exonerate Anthony of all the wrongful accusations done against him. Being incarcerated for almost 4 years for a crime he did not commit is very bitter to swallow, yet he was made to endure. I believe in justice and equality. I still believe in our government. I still believe in our judicial system. And I still believe in the American dream. Your Honor, your children or your grandchildren might be one day follow your footsteps. The injustices being done against humanity and to Anthony has been assiduously horrific and atrocious throughout this case. Your Honor, you have the power to change these injustices, to do what is righteous, to not destroy a dignified man's life. As Americans, we need and we must move forward as a united people to once again become a country filled with love, peace, unity among each other. Your Honor, you have the power to dissolve the ring of greed and power that is rampant in this day and age. May your heart be filled with love. Thank you very much. Thank you.